Hey, welcome to Last Minute Betting with the Sports Nuts. I'm Bob. That's Mike. We're here to do stuff at the last minute, right, Mike?
That's right.
Brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company. Don't forget, sign up and click the links below for the sports books in your state. Get the best deals. Also, the link below for the OddsJam Partner Program. And give us a like. You know, I don't know how many people are going to be watching right now. We want as many people to watch as possible. We're excited about this tournament, just like you all are. And we want to get to these games. That's why we started a little early tonight, so we could get to these. And I don't know what kind of viewership we're going to have, but Mike, it's here. And Arkansas and Gonzaga already started, and it looks like 7-6. Gonzaga got off to a 5-0 start, 5-0 start. Truly, I know we both expect Gonzaga to win this game, but do you expect them to cover the spread, Mike?
No, and I've already picked. I picked Arkansas to cover the spread. I mean, you're expecting Gonzaga to beat these guys by 10 points or more. I don't think that's possible. I know that Gonzaga is a fast-paced offense, but Arkansas's got athletes. They're a scrappy team. I could see Gonzaga maybe pulling away in this game and winning by, 5 or 6. That wouldn't be a big shock. But as you saw, Gonzaga got off to a fast start. Arkansas is going to hang around most of this game. So I just think that's too high of a spread. And I liked it a lot just because I've seen Arkansas play so much. Right. And I like them covering that spread. But you're right. Gonzaga will win this game, I think.
So as I'm looking at the live odds right now on OddsJam, you got Arkansas plus 10.5 on BetMGM, plus 125, and Arkansas plus 11.5 at plus 105. If I was in Illinois, I would probably jump on one of those right now.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, this is going to be a scrappy game. Gonzaga, again, a fast-paced team, but Arkansas will find a way, I think, to slow them down enough at times throughout this game to make this a reasonable and respectful game. That's why I think you should have jumped on that 9.5 spread. Now, would I be shocked if Gonzaga beat them by 10 plus? I don't want to say I would be shocked, but I would be really surprised. I really would. I think 10 plus is really high in a Sweet 16 game when you've got two teams that, in my opinion, have some experience in this thing. Arkansas did have a little bit of a run last year, Gonzaga in the national championship. So I think ultimately Arkansas will give them a respectable game.
So Randall and Steven, I didn't hear what they're I know they're picking Gonzaga to win, but did either one of them take Arkansas on the spread? By the way, great show, guys.
You know what? I was in town in the middle of their show, and I heard the first few minutes. I've got to go back and rewatch. I don't know what they took. I would venture to say that either A, they didn't touch this game, or B, and if they did, I think that would have probably been the play is the spread. There's no way you're going to gamble on Arkansas money line, no value on Gonzaga money line. And again, 10 plus, we're at a 9-8 game right now. It's early.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be
a dogfight.
Again, Gonzaga, if the good thing for Arkansas, I think, is if Gonzaga gets off to a good little lead here, I think it'll make Arkansas play desperate. So therefore, even more reason to take that spread.
Okay, so we're not trying to recreate what Randall and Steve already did because they've done a fantastic job throughout this tournament. We're just giving you a few opinions here. The Michigan-Villanova game, I fully expect Villanova to win and cover. I think Steve mentioned it. He knows I'm not a big Juwan Howard fan at all. But if you decided to take Michigan and you wanted to take the 4.5 points, you could get them at plus money, plus 100. but I'm telling you, I think that Villanova
That's
could
why.
win by double digits.
They're I mean, you just said it yourself. There's plus money on that spread.
Right.
Okay. I mean, they're begging you to take that because Villanova's likely going to run them out of the gym. To the average person, that's you know, you look at that and you're going to say, "Whoa, the spread's plus money. Let's get it, baby." No. Don't touch that game because Villanova is likely going to run these guys out of the gym. And the thing with Villanova is we could be in the second half and this game be, a 3-point game, and Villanova at any time will pull away from this thing and make it 5+. No doubt about it. So
now here we got to go to the next game because it's the big game of the night, Duke and Texas Tech. And Randall's right. There are a ton of people that are picking Texas Tech in this game, including Joe Lunardi from ESPN, who had Duke going out in the second round. So like he said, how can I change now?
Well, here's my question. I took Notre Dame on that spread against Texas Tech. That covered with ease. What are they going by when you look at that? Notre Dame, an ACC team, they really think they saw enough in that matchup against Notre Dame that they're going to be able to match up with Duke and beat them? Duke got their bad game probably out of the way. I don't see it. Duke's a much better team than Notre Dame, and Notre Dame gave them all they can handle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And again, I don't want to just go by that game, but
I'm just going to tell you right now, Mike, I'm going with you, Randall, and Steve on this. I bet Duke heavily, and you know what? I hope you guys are right because I know Steve said it's the biggest bet he's made in 10 years. It's pretty well a pick'em game.
I really think, Bob, Duke's got a shot to win this. I don't want to say easily because, I don't know that there's any necessarily easy wins when you're this deep in the tournament, but I don't think they're going to struggle as much as they did their last game, Duke that being. And I think that you're seeing enough trends with Texas Tech that, look, they're a good defensive team. But Notre Dame basically decided just to shoot the three that whole game. Notre Dame made no effort to really change up what they did against Texas Tech, and Duke is going to attack them and drive and attack the paint a lot more. I'm not seeing this being as much of a game as people think.
Here's what I've got a question, okay? What if Texas crowds the paint? It forces Duke to shoot from the outside. I think because those guys, Moore and what's the other guy's name, Banchero, they like to drive, right?
Here's the thing: Notre Dame already gave you somewhat of a blueprint that shows, hey, you can just settle with shooting those shots and you're still going to be in the game. Notre Dame at no point was blown out in that game. Texas Tech built a little bit of a lead, but Notre Dame made that an absolute ball game at the end, and they covered with ease on the spread, and Notre Dame stuck to shooting the three the whole game. They drove a little bit, but their penetration at driving to the basket and kicking out to a shooter was not as effective as what Duke can do. And if Duke decides to just do exactly what Notre Dame did, they're going to still be in the game. So I expect Duke to have a lot more success driving to the hoop and bringing defenders and kicking out more. So
Jeff Barzello from ESPN, I'm just going to read you what he said. The Red Raiders are as good as any team in the country at keeping opponents out of the paint, and their top 6 players are all capable of shooting from three. So,
but an 11 seed in Notre Dame understood that and honestly had a very good game plan for it. Notre Dame was just not a good enough team, unfortunately. And I don't think Notre Dame had enough size. I think Duke's a different animal than Notre Dame.
I agree with you 199%. Hey, and I'm with you and Randall and Steve. Just make it happen, guys. My pocketbook needs to be lined here. All right, so with that being said, we go to the final game very quickly here. Arizona and Houston, and I'm just going to tell you this. Randall, I love you like a son, okay? But you told me early on in this tournament that Houston's experience at guard, if they matched up with Arizona, that their experience in the backcourt and Arizona inexperience in the backcourt would be the difference in this game. And now you're telling me different. Mike, Houston's got a shot at winning this game.
I think they do, but I can't speak for Randall, but I will try to in this sense. I believe that was before we saw that game against TCU, and Arizona was able to survive that. And I think that gives them enough of a scare that they are a lot more prepared now. And remember, they're now a game more experienced and a big win under their belt. So that has to go somewhat of a long ways for an inexperienced team. All you can do is talk about the present, and the present is Arizona made some big plays in the biggest game of the year for them, and they found a way to win the game. And when you look at Houston, they're coming off a really easy win against Illinois. There's some people that probably took Illinois in that game confidently. So when you look at that angle, I can see why he would change his stance, because the logic tells you that now, based upon what we've seen in this tournament, a little bit different approach to it now,
Okay, now I'm going to tell you, let me tell you what I think. I think the reason Randall changed his stance because he would tell me that a good bettor always keeps an open mind.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. And I have Arizona winning this whole thing in a bracket, for whatever it counts for, but I took TCU on that spread. That was a good win there. And I still think that Arizona is a team to look out for. And I came into this thinking the same thing, maybe that Houston probably could beat them based upon the last two games we've seen, but maybe that's the reason to go against Houston here, because Arizona is probably going to look a little bit more sharper than they did.
Absolutely. All right. I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to go to the positive EV page because
Mike been on fire, baby.
Mike has been on complete fire on the positive EV. And I actually put 3 positive EV plays in on basketball today. And plus, if you looked at my NHL props video on YouTube, I've got a couple of positive EV plays for hockey in there too. But Mike, you've got a few plays that you were talking to me about earlier. Let's talk about them.
Yeah, and they're probably long gone, but let's see if there is any value still on them. Definitely go ahead and look at it. Let me pull up my bet tracker here and share with you guys what I went on ahead and hit today. Look, early on, this was a late last night bet. There was value on this Pelicans and Bulls over 229.5. I know there's probably no DeRozan, but the odds on that are plus 100. So
now it's down to 224.
Yeah. Look, I think I'm still rolling with that. I think I'll still confidently give that out. We've got a player assists and Drew Holiday. We're going under 10.5. We found that at minus 135 odds. When you looked around, the other sports books did not have as good a price, so we rolled with that. And then we're fading Brooke Lopez in the under 14.5 points tonight. That's plus 105. We're going to roll with that. And then we're also going to roll with Zach LaVine over 2.5 made threes. We got that at minus 115.
Right. Okay. So let me show you the bet tracker because I actually put in a couple in here earlier. Let me find what I had in here. I actually didn't put the player props in here, but I did put in this one here. Here it is, right here. Player points. Claude Giroux over 0.5. I mentioned this in my video, Mike. Claude Giroux is going on the top line with Barkov and Verhaeghe. So he's an 18-goal scorer. He's the captain of the Flyers. I think that one's going to hit. And then
breaking news here, Bob. Insane find on the positive EV page as we speak. These have actually been money. These literal last-minute bets that we're placing, they have been absolute money. So check it out. Another PRA, baby. Points, rebounds, assists. Player points, rebounds, and assists. We're going with Kristaps Porzingis over 31.5. We're finding that on BetMGM at -110 odds, man.
Hey, since I'm in Missouri, will you put 10 on that for me and I'll pay you when I get back in Illinois?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. I'm in the process of hitting that now. So let's ride that. Remember, these PRA bets have been hot for me lately.
Oh yeah,
so,
absolutely. They're awesome. That's what Mike calls them. PRA bets. That's
I don't call them that.
Everybody does. See, I'm not hip to your lingo, dude. All right, let's look at the bet tracker. Once again, we just added that into it. It's a positive EV. You can see the sports book. I'm just showing you what the bet tracker does because the bet tracker is 100% free on OddsJam. It's fantastic. And the other thing that I do want to show people here real quick, Mike, is the fact that we have live, if you get the live program, which is $9 a day, you can actually bet live. And you can see here the line has moved again. Now it's back to the 9.5. So I could have, early on when it was 6-0, I could have picked it up for 11.5, plus 11.5. But now it's down to 9.5, and that's going to change as we go. Once again,
I got that baby on behind me.
Once again, the bet tracker. Let me show you. Hang on, right there. Shows you my profit, my pending bets, what my return on investment of the completed bets, the percentage of place bets that have beaten the closing line value. Over 50% is really good. And then by time, over time, sportsbook, sport, and bet type. That is the bet tracker. I am going to unshare my screen here, and we're going to go back to me and you, and I want to know what else you want to talk about. NBA, NHL, what do you got?
You know, I don't really have a whole lot on the NBA for tonight. I've got to give my lock of the night.
Yes.
Which I'll touch on the NBA. Look, this is a scary matchup that I'm going with, all right?
Okay.
There's not a lot on the slate, but the Cleveland Cavaliers have been really, really, really good covering. So we're going to take them plus 5.5. They're playing Toronto. They're playing at Toronto. Toronto's also a very good team to be picking against, honestly. They've won me a lot of money this year. But I'm going to tell you right now, I like this Cleveland Cavaliers team plus 5.5. I think that they will cover this spread. Now, Toronto knows they owe Cleveland. They have not been good against Cleveland this year, and that does worry me. But I'm going with the math, and the math is telling me that Cleveland should cover this spread.
Okay. I'm not going to give you a lock yet. Real quick, I just got to tell you the positive.
That is my lock.
I know. I'm not going to give you a lock yet. Hang on a second. My positive EV for Claude Giroux just hit in the first period.
Woo!
Yeah, baby. Yeah, that positive EV is on fire.
Beat that chest. Beat that chest.
My lock of
chest, Bobby.
My lock of the night.
Bobby, give me some King Kong action. Come on, give the people something.
Oh! All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, that hurt.
You weren't supposed to literally.
Hey, I've had a heart attack, dude. I can't beat on my chest. All right. My lock of the night is going to be, and by the way, I'm now 6-5. Okay. I am actually keeping track of my locks. Hey, you are not keeping track of yours. Okay?
Yes, I am. I've got them all on my bet tracker, boy. What are you talking about?
You got all your positive EVs. You got one play a night, and I don't see what your record is.
One play a night?
Yes, one lock of the night, okay?
Okay.
You don't have 5 locks, okay? So
I've been on fire. That's all I know.
My lock of the night is.
How about them Mavericks last night covering, huh?
Will you let me finish? My lock of the night is the St. Louis Blues -1.5 against the Philadelphia Flyers at home. Jordan Binnington back in net, gonna prove to y'all
again against the Flyers, huh?
He's Winnington. That's right. And you heard it here. So that is it for last minute sports betting. We're going to be here tomorrow after Randall and Steve do their March Madness. We're going to go on as quick as we can after they get done. So we hope to see you all tomorrow night. Keep betting. Watch those lines, man. Positive EV, oddsjam.com. See ya. Peace.